Tracey and Violet from Tea Time with Tracey and Violet. Come here for a sec, Violet. There she is. And I just put my kids to bed. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm having a cup of orange and cinnamon tea. And I have some parcels to open. They've been stockpiled for the past couple of weeks. And I think these are my deep, dark romance books, I think. I opened up some other ones. I just peeked in to make sure. Those ones are more horror, and I'll do another video about that at a different time. I didn't take them out of the pack, but I think these are all deep, dark, disturbing, maybe forbidden romance sort of thing. So I'm not using a big teacup or a small teacup. I'm using my big old peace, love, and happiness mug because it's been that kind of a day. Ooh, hot. Anyways, I'm going to jump right in. And I might not know what all of these books are about. Most of them will be secondhand, but some of them might not be, I forget. So we're going to open it right up. Oh yeah. This one is by Nina G. Jones. I've never read anything by her. It's Time to Collect Debt. I've seen one person talk about this book, and it's quite dark and disturbing. And I like to see what the big whoop is about all this stuff. And the deeper, the darker, the scarier, the whatever. I like to go for that end of the spectrum. I don't get scared. I don't get shook. It's all fiction. It's not real. I would never want this stuff in real life, but it's a book. I believe this is about some young woman who had some, I don't know whether she had a tragic past or something, but she has this fantasy of being sexually assaulted, if you know, being taken forcefully. So I'm just giving you the Coles notes of what I can recall when I ordered this. She goes through a reputable agency to hire somebody to come and pretty much rape her, but under controlled circumstances. Like, she hired them, they're vetted, they're all this sort of thing. So she doesn't know where, when, or anything like that, I believe. So one night she gets sexually assaulted, and she thinks it's this person from the agency. Turns out it's not, but she doesn't know this. And she develops some sort of a relationship with him, but I guess he's a real tool. He's really, really, really mean, and he has some sort of vendetta out against her from times past, which I have no idea what it is. No idea. And I guess he's a real piece of work. And it goes from there. I don't know whether, well, obviously he's a bad guy, but is that the love romance person? It's a dark romance, so maybe. And yes, I guess it's quite something. So it's a standalone book too. And I'm going to check that one out at some point. And then I got, this is a duet. I think it's Church and then Preach. Or Preach and then Church. I don't know which one comes first. This is by Stylo Fantôme. I've never read anything by Stylo. I don't know if that's a woman's name or a man's name or a non-binary name. I really don't know. But it's a duet book, so you read one before the other. And I believe this is about step siblings. Very disturbed step siblings. Is this the one? I think. Oh, Church book 2. So Preach first. A shattered woman, a changed man. Church Logan wanted to kill someone. Emma Hartley wanted to die. They were a match made in hell. But one little cut, a pint or two of blood, and suddenly everything between them is different. Are they still destined for greatness, or has darkness finally eclipsed them and torn them apart? Looks like it's time for church to practice what he preaches. Ignition meets explosion. Yeah, I guess they're both two very tormented step siblings or foster siblings or something like that. And yes, I guess it's quite extremely dark. I believe this author writes extremely dark. So I want to jump on that bandwagon and try them out for myself. And I really like duets. I love series. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books in a series. I'm not shook. I like it. But duets are cool with me. So that'll be a nice little reading session. And they're not very long. Like, that's dead. That's, you know what I mean? 2 books, 1 book sort of thing. There. So I have to admit, maybe there might be some books in here that are not for me. They might be for my children for Christmas. So if they are, I won't show them because it's not really appropriate to show those kid books in this book. Okay, I've seen a lot of people talk about this book, and I'm trying not to jump on the bandwagon of all the hyped up books, but sometimes I do. I can't help it. I believe this is a series, the Brat Buzz Air. And I believe this is some sort of a Russian mafia, maybe? Is it Russian? Prisons, a dark, bleak place, but Claire brings me light. My sweet little bird will be my ticket to freedom. The first time I saw her, I had to have her. From her big dark eyes to the curves she can't conceal. The way she can only hold my gaze for so long. The way she shivers every time I move inside these chains. And most of all, the way she'll bend the rules when I ordered her to. I know a natural submissive when I see one. Her degrees and titles don't change who she is. A woman who will bend to my will. She doesn't know it yet, but Claire is mine. Mine to train, mine to protect, mine to control. I don't want to say I struggle with these books. I just don't believe. I don't know. I hear he's quite dominant. And I didn't really know that much about it, but it sounds like she must be a submissive or trained to be a submissive. And I don't feel it myself, but I want to read the book to see what the big whoop is, because a lot of people like this book, and I got to see if it's something that I would like to read too. And I just ordered 1 book. I don't know if other books in the series are out. I believe this is the first book, and it's by Jane Henry and Sophie Lark. And I don't think I've read anything by either one of them. I don't think. So I got that one. All right. I gotta not talk so much because this is gonna be a long one. But for those that like book hauls, there you go. Okay. Nope, that's a horror one. I'll take that one out till my other video. All right, I got a triple. I don't know which one goes first. 3-book series. And it's a Cinderella retelling. I don't know which one's first. A Cinderella novel. Prince Charming, I'm assuming. Stroke of Midnight. And The Glass Slipper. I should know, but I don't know. And I can't remember if I read something by Kay Webster or not. I can't recall. But apparently it's a Cinderella retelling. And I believe he's like a great big billionaire CEO, something like that. Oh, one of my kids might be coming down. Some sort of business hot shot. Great big. I don't know if it's Mafia or what. and she goes to work for him. I don't know whether it's for some debt or something. I really don't know. I should have researched this more, but when I do read these books, I'm going to talk all the heck about it, and I'll probably read them all before I talk to you about it. But they're not great big books. I've heard good things about it. The people that like Kay Webster writes some really dark and twisted, but very good books, apparently. So I thought I would try that on for size. It's going to be a good winter. And it's a Cinderella retelling. So there you go. If you've read any of these books, let me know. Let me know. All right. Which end is up? Oh no, I have a couple more in this box that just weren't with that. Okay. Her Soul to Take. I've seen a million people talk about this book too. And this is by Harley LaRue. I can't remember if I've read anything. This is book 1 of Soul's trilogy, so there must be 2 more books coming out. Or maybe they're out. I don't know. But this is like a paranormal or, yeah, demon and human romance. Apparently, it's like college-age people. And I guess she gets some sort of, I don't know exactly. She gets the grimoire, like the book that controls a demon, and she poses some sort of a summoning spell, jokingly, not realizing it's the real deal. And she summons this demon who is apparently going to this college or university or something like that. And he's a real prick to her. But then all of a sudden she summons him, and she doesn't realize why is he here. Turns out he's a demon. And I guess it gets kind of sick and twisted. And this is blown up all over BookTube that I can see. And I love myself some paranormal romance. So I thought I would try that. I would try it. Doesn't hurt. And if I like it, I'll get the other books. Oh, I like how some of the pages, beginning of chapters, have different color pages. I like that. And then I got this. This is a reverse harem, and I guess this is a series too, but I only got the first book because I want to see if I like it. A reverse harem vampire book. Jolie Sue Burkhart. And a lost virgin vampire queen, 2 vampire knights sworn to protect her. It's about to get very hot and bloody. Ever since, oh, it's hard to see. Ever since her mother was murdered by monsters 5 years ago, Shara has been on the run, alone, scared, and exhausted. She's finally cornered in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, out of hope with nowhere else to turn. She's ready to end it all when 2 men come to her rescue. And it goes from there. I think, well, it sounds like there's just 2, but it's kind of a reverse harem. Do you have to have more than 2 people? I don't know. But I thought I'd give it a whirl. I've read other reverse harems before. Not very often. But, and it's a lot shorter than I thought. Less than 200 pages. 176 pages. So if I like it, if it's something I want to continue with, I'll continue with it. But I like to try authors that I don't hear people talk about. I heard from one person that said this. And yeah. Anyways, this, I don't know whether to put this in horror or dark romance, taboo romance, twisted romance, sort of. By Charity B, R.I.P. I guess this has to do with a family that works at a mortuary, you know, deals with dead people and stuff. And I don't really know anything else about it, but on the outside we look normal, like an all-American Christian family, but behind the walls of this church basement we are far from it. My mother says it's her calling, my father says it's a blessing, my sister says it's fun, and I say we're fucked. Excuse my language. I don't know what we're doing is really what God wants us to do. I just know that the more we do it, the more natural it feels. Natural. What we're doing and the reason behind it is far from natural. In my family, love blends with hate, duty with torment, blood with water. We are a family, and this is the story about how we all went wrong. Oh, R.I.P. Part 2 is rest in pieces. Her actions shattered my family, leaving it half alive, and I hate her for it. My brother is broken. His torment suffocates him as he claws his way through the aftermath of her decisions. Despite it all, he remains by my side. A love we knew has been gutted, rotted into a million pieces. We have no home, nowhere to go, but I don't care because we still have each other, and he's the only one that can see beneath the flesh to touch me in the darkest places. Our choices have taken us to a new path, a shimmering sea of blood trails behind us on the search for purpose and reason. No matter what happens, I refuse to let anything or anyone keep us apart. I'll burn the world to ash before I let him go. Sounds kind of incestuous. I'm not sure. So I don't read these books to get my motor going or anything like that. It's just a topic of interest and morbid, twisted stories. I don't know. All right, so I don't know. That borders on the line of horror, kind of dark, taboo. Instead of dark romance, it's like taboo, forbidden romance maybe. But I don't know. I'll let you know when I read it. And I didn't know that there was a part 2, so if it's a duet, I will order the part 2. I'm going to look it up before I read this because in my mind, I don't generally DNF books. I can't. My mom won't let me DNF books. And if there's a part 2 to this that I need it to find out, even if I don't care for it, I need to. If it's a long series or something like that, I have an easier time to stop, but I'll at least finish a book that I've started. And usually with duet books, it stops in the middle of the story and I need to finish it. So I don't know. I'm going to look that up. All right. Here's another one. Is this? Oh, yeah. I have part 3 of this trilogy, and the other one might be in here. I believe this is the first one. It's by Monica James, Bad Saint. I forget what the other 2 are called. This third book I bought on thrift books or something like that, and it came, I don't know, in a previous haul. I'm pretty sure. And I ordered the first 2 books because I would like to read that this winter. And yeah, it's 3 full books. So that I believe, and I might have said this in another video, this has to do with a newly married couple go to Las Vegas, I believe, just on their honeymoon, like they're just freshly married. And she gets kidnapped, or I believe her new husband trades her for death videos, maybe, I don't know, to a Russian mafia person. And he takes her away on her very honeymoon night, and it goes from there. And it's 3 books, and I want to read it. Oh, just hold your horses. All right. Hopefully it doesn't ring again. So, anyways, yeah, this video's a long one, but it's a big, deep, dark, dirty video. All right. I was debating on whether to make this 2 videos, but I just want to get this all opened. And for those that like book hauls, this will be a good one. Maybe not all this stuff is books. What is this? This isn't books. It might be a Christmas present or something. All right. There's different duets and things in here. There is that other one that goes with this bad saint. So I think this is 1, this is 2, and then I already hauled book 3 in one of my other book hauls. So there. Good. That goes to that one. That goes to that one. That goes to that one. That one. And that one. Okay. So I've seen people talk about this set of books too. That one. I think this one's first, Truth About Tomorrow. The age is just a number. He's just like, he's a boy and I'm just a girl, except that's not true, is it? Because 15 may be a number, but it's bigger than that, bigger than us. It's a number that separates us. I believe these are age gap books. I don't know for sure which one is first. I gotta look it up before I read. But this is by B. Celeste. And then there's a little novella. These ones are bigger. And a little novella that goes at the end of it. And I've seen people talk about it and they say it's really good. So I wanted to check it out. Age is just a number. He wasn't mine to love. Yeah. Does it say? This book contains cheating. Proceed with caution. That's an author's note. You should skip the epilogues. Oh, hi, Mom. You should skip the epilogue. That's funny. So, this might be the first one. The Truth About Tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm going to try this one. Have you guys heard of that? I've seen this very popular too. All right. I believe this is a reverse harem too. It's a duet series. I don't think it's 3 books. First comes love. Second comes war. Maybe there is a third one. I don't know. But I believe this is a Mafia one. You'd think they'd have different, well, they are different covers. She has different dresses on, but just the same pose and things. I believe she's a young woman and she's up for marriage, and 4 big Mafia badasses are vying for her hand. And I don't know whether she canoodles with all of them or not. This was referred to as a reverse harem. And any Mafia books I've read, no Mafia men share their women when it's their actual spouse anyways. So I don't know exactly, but I wanted to try it on for size. And I still have a couple more books to open here, but 2, maybe 3 books, I'm not sure. And this is by Lilith Vincent. I like the name Lilith. And then I read, this is by Ashley Jade. I read one book by Ashley Jade. It was a bully romance, and boy, oh boy, it was the biggest, baddest, in a good way, bully romance I've ever read. More bully than Untouchable by Sam Mariano, and the other book I read by another author, but she writes dark, at least that book that I read. And then I seen this duet by Ashley Jade too, and if it's as dark as that bully romance, it's going to be right up my aisle. But look at him. He looks like a piece, doesn't he? Yep. Chip your tooth off of him. They'll tell you I seduce them, use my looks and body to lure them into my playground. They'll tell you I'm a sinner, a demon who held them captive with temptation and lust. They'll tell you I'm evil, a monster obsessed with both of them. They'll tell you that they made a deal with the devil. What they won't tell you is how much they liked it. Ooh. And then when one man thinks I'm a saint, the other thinks I'm a sinner. One man lives in the public eye, the other lurks in the shadows. One man wants to use me for his own needs, the other wants to use me for his revenge. One man will get what's coming to him, the other will get what he deserves. They told me good girls get rewarded, but I've been bad, very bad. I made a deal with the devil and I liked it. Ooh. Ooh. Spicy. I don't know what this is about. I just wanted to read another book by Ashley Jade because I found that bully romance quite disturbing in the sense, not that it shook me like, oh God, I can't read books like that. No, not like that. But I was like, oh my God, this guy's a sick son of a gun in this book. And he's just a teenager. And then he grows up to be a man and he's a crazy teenager young man. And yeah, I want to read something else of hers to see what my thoughts are about that. And I seen this duet and I got it. I have a couple of books here, but I think the other book, like their duet books, I just want to open these boxes to see if their pair or their match is in here. I'll show you. This one is the first one in a series. I don't think it's paranormal or anything, but I think it's a post-apocalypse romance. It's not quite a reverse harem. I believe this one girl who is the daughter of some powerful man that rules the compound after an apocalypse. So within the walls, he's the leader. And she doesn't like it. Maybe he's a dick or something. I don't know. But she wants to leave. And she does. Anybody that lives outside the wall are called outlaws. And she ends up hooking up with a group of 4 men. And it goes from there. So I don't know if the love interest is just one person or 2 people or 4 people or what. But I wanted to try that one. Yeah, and if it's good, I might look into the other ones. And I don't know how many books are in the series, but this is the first one. And I'm all for trying new authors I've never read before. And a premise that I haven't read before. So that one, L. Kennedy. Nope. Yeah. All right, here's another duet one. And I don't know which one is first, but this is by Letitia Newton. Vanquished and Whispers in the Dark. Anybody heard of this one? I can't recall. Some hearts are meant to be broken. He calls to me with whispers in the dark. What is the first one? I think Vanquished is first. That one's popping into my mind. If I should die before I wake, then my heart is Caesar's to take. He pulls me down, he lifts me up, and then he leaves me in the muck. If I should fall before I fly, then I know it was only the fault of mine. He taught me better, he led my way. I just don't know how to stay. And if I should not gain his heart, fuck that. He made me this way, curled my thoughts and twisted me. He belongs to me forever. Okay. All right. Well, other books by, no, I just need to know if this is the first one. Yeah. Paranormal, no. Yeah. I don't know. I think I fell down that rabbit hole and I can't recall. It's a dark romance. It is a dark romance. And yeah, the back of this one says, this is just the beginning of my tale. I was captured. This is just the beginning of my tale. I've survived purgatory, abuse, and near death. And that abandoned farmhouse, I nearly lost everything. But Jacob saved me. We were trapped in this hell together, giving each other the strength to hold on. I fell into darkness with my captor's son. I don't want to read any more of this because this must be book 2, and I don't want to find out what goes on in this book. But I believe it's extremely dark. It's my thoughts. So there's one. I gotta stretch my legs out. And then I've seen people talk about this, and I'm interested in it. Still Breathing. Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This is about 2 people, young adults. This young woman who has a sister, and her sister's fiance, she's known him for about 15 years. They get on each other's nerves. I guess he teases her and torments her, not in a mean way, but in a big brother kind of way. And she doesn't care for him very much. He's annoying, or he's a bully, but not in a serious way, but enough to get on her nerves apparently. And she goes to some party and needs a driver because for some reason she needs a drive, whether she's been drinking or she doesn't have a drive or whatever, and she can only get a hold of him. So he comes to pick her up. When they leave the bar, apparently they get kidnapped by some serial killer together. They end up being locked down in his basement, and he gets them to do some really, really nasty things. So I believe this story is about that, however long they're there with the serial killer. And I believe they get away, but it's their life afterwards, because I believe they were forced to do some intimate things in a very heinous way. And the healing process after. So I don't know if this is so much, well, it says a dark romance novel. I don't know whether this story she ends up going with him, or they just heal together, or he helps her find love elsewhere, or I don't know. But I'm really interested in seeing this because I've seen a lot of people talk about that. And it's not super long, less than 300 pages. So, Still Beating. All right, is there another one? Oh, yeah. The Dark Light, a King series prequel of Day. The Dark Light of Day. This is a prequel, but I believe this came out after. And this has to do, I'm buying, T.M. Fraser is an automatic buy for me because I have fallen head over heels with the King series. So I have all of her prequel or spin-off books from this, I believe, except for the Perversion one. If that's a spin-off from it. I'm not sure. So that's one I still need to get. But this has to do with 2 characters, Abby and Jake. And you'll see them scattered throughout the King series in the other spin-offs. They're not great big heavy characters. You get to know them a little bit, and this is their story before all of the King series started. So probably when they met and how they got together and all that sort of thing. And I've loved every single thing she has written, whatever. And I am super pumped to read this, but I have a couple of other books of hers I want to read. I've had for a while, and I need to get to reading too, but I'm super excited to get my hands on this because it'll be so cool when I get done the whole series. Not that I want it to be over. That's why I'm taking my time reading it, because I don't want it to be over. But I want to find out what happens to everybody. And yeah, super pumped. Super pumped about that one. Okay, I have one more box. And this might not be books at all. It's very light. It's just a very high. Oh, there is one. new tripod and one book. That goes with... Oh, I thought I'm missing a book with that one. Well, I'll show you it anyways. It's probably in one of my other parcels. I'll have to look. Dirty Angels and Dirty Promises. I believe Dirty Angels is first. This is about Mexican cartel. And Luisa Chavez, a 23-year-old former beauty queen. A better life has always been just out of her reach. I guess she's been successful in the beauty queen thing, but her family is very hard off, and she really is trying to take care of her family because whatever reasons. I don't know if it's just her mother or what, but she agrees to marry this big cartel guy who sweeps her off her feet. But when they get married, he's not such a nice guy, and she married him because he said he would take care of her family and all that sort of thing. So she jumped at the chance to do that. But turns out he's a really awful, awful, awful person. So she escapes. I'm thinking, I'm curious to find out how that happens, because what happens to her family? Anyways, she escapes and ends up either running into the arms of his rival or gets captured by his rival. And he is the love interest. But turns out he's not as nice a guy either. So I don't know what's going to happen. And it's a duet book. I don't think there's any more in this. But I don't read very many cartel books and like romance books. So I wanted to try that one on for size. So I'm just going to check one more box over in the corner there, which I didn't think would have any books in it, but maybe it does, because I do have one book here that should have another book that goes along with it. So just a minute. All right, there was a book, but not the one I was looking for. So that'll go with a different haul. But this is the book I was talking about. I believe there's a book 2 to this. Black Hearts by Karina Hale. And this is about the son of an famous drug lord. He grew up in this world, and all he knows is violence and drugs and all that sort of thing. And he stumbles across someone he wasn't supposed to know about in his father's past, a woman. So he goes all the way to California to find this woman. I don't know what she has to do with anything. And he comes across this woman's daughter who, long story short, he comes obsessed with. And for some reason, that's a big no-go with everybody, and I guess it gets twisted from there because whatever the circumstances are. But yeah, I'm sure this is a duet one, and I don't have the book. That's disappointing. That drives me crazy. I don't like not having sets together, but I'll have to suck it up until it comes. But anyways, that's my book haul, my big old book haul. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I cannot wait to get my hands into those. But I'm working on some other books right now. But this will be my Valentine's reading. They are love stories after all. Maybe not the light and fluffy ones, but I'm thinking Valentine's. Oh yeah. So anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to hit the hay here shortly. I got a busy day tomorrow. But I feel good opening those presents instead of the boxes staring at me in my face, laughing at me, and giving me the finger. So, there you go. Anyways, that I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning. And I might see you tomorrow. Bye. Bloop.